Hello everyone in Mr. Arnold's CLN4U class. Today we are going to discuss the success criteria for the culminating activity. That is how you tie together the course essential question with the research that you have been compiling independently and in your groups to support your UN Sustainable Development Goal throughout the course. The first requirement is to revisit the course essential question. The course essential question stated the Canadian legal system meets the expectations of the principles of fundamental justice. To be able to critically analyze Canada's performance in meeting the expectations of the principles of fundamental justice based upon their commitment to the UN Sustainable Development Goals, you first have to determine which of the principles of justice that we are using to analyze Canada's performance. Your first step would be to revisit your UN Sustainable Development Goal and access the portion of the page entitled Goal, then the number of your goal, and targets. In this case, for Goal 16, we are going to pick 16B, promote and enforce non-discriminatory laws and policies for sustainable development. Excellent. On that note, we now have to look and see which of the concepts from the course concept chart have to do with non-discriminatory laws and policies. If you refer to the course concepts chart, you can see that this is a matter of equality. Now that we have a specific principle of justice to focus on, we can start to look at Canada's performance internationally. So does the performance of Canada in international agreements promote equality based upon this UN Sustainable Development Goal? For that purpose, you can visit Canada's international relations to find more about how Canada is responding to the policies of other countries and agreements with other countries in the world. For the purpose of equality, we see that on the topic of same-sex rights or LGBTQ+ rights, Canada has levied something called sanctions upon Russia. I've highlighted for you in the recent developments section that Canada has specifically outlined the situation for LGBT individuals and activists in Chechnya and the treatment of the Russian government of those individuals. Excellent. Your next step is to identify the policies that Canada follows in relations to same-sex couples domestically. This can be found on websites like the CBC. Specifically, for this issue in same-sex rights, we look at the timeline of same-sex rights in Canada. Your next step is to identify a domestic law or act that was created, assented to, or amended to provide for these rights. So from the timeline, we were able to identify that it was the Civil Marriage Act that was created in regards to same-sex rights. and specifically same-sex unions. If we're looking at a provincial approach and provincial policies, we know that education is a provincial responsibility, and therefore we can look to the school board to see if there are any examples of equity and inclusive education happening at the school board level. If you access the Upper Grand District School Board, you can search for your topic and your specific legal principle on the school board website. If we are looking at LGBTQ, we see that there is an equity and inclusive education website. If I scroll down, I can see that there are many other resources and policies that specifically address the treatment of LGBTQ+ youth in the Upper Grand District School Board. There is also a progress report on equity. And finally, your local focus, which can be found in papers such as and websites such as Guelph Today and the Wellington Advertiser. A big thanks to the Peace Justice group for allowing me to use their example today, where they're looking to tie directly to the Renegade Rainbows initiative that occurred on June 3rd, 2021. You're always looking to find the most recent evidence to support your opinion. Excellent. So the main goal of the course and the main goal of your video that you have to ask yourself is, does your video prove or disprove the course essential question? So you are raising awareness about your UN Sustainable Development Goal, while at the same time you are critically analyzing Canada's performance in regards to your particular UN Sustainable Development Goal. Thanks so much. Please refer to the checklist from the June 8th agenda, and I will talk to you folks soon.